Hey everyone, it's Jason. Welcome to some more Gundam the card game starter deck. This is for starter deck number 4, which is Siege Strike, which will be the gray and red deck. So I'm not really as familiar with the Siege Gundams, so it'll be interesting to see what's all in here, as well as to see how this deck interacts with itself, but also then kind of how it compared to the other decks. If you haven't watched them, check on the link to the descriptions. We have the kind of rules or what this game is about, some of the neat new mechanics of it, or check out the other 3 starter decks. So let's knock out some of the quick stuff here. We have our token sheet. So you're going to have our damage counters of 1s, 2s, 3s, and 4s, plus a plus AP, attack power, and a minus attack power token, and an extra resource counter. We'll have our token cards here. We'll have one for the generic EX base, as well as one for the EX resource. So it's our generic token cards. Then we have our 10 resource cards, which are red on the back, which are the same in every deck. Awesome. So now we've looked at the basic quick stuff. Let's hop into the cool cards of the game. So we're going to start with our first one, which is our legendary rare. Ale Strike Gundam, GAT-X105 plus ADM slash E-X01. So yeah, wow, a lot of stuff going on with that name. The photos are always really cool. He's got the etching on it. It's gonna be neat, like where the laser beam is shining off, it doesn't etch on there. That is actually pretty cool. Alright, so this is a level 5, so it costs 4 to play. So you're not going to get this right off the bat, but usually the higher ones aren't. It has blocker, which is very nice, so you can rest this unit to change the attack of the target to it, so it can help keep your guys alive, which, giant shield makes sense. When paired with a level 4 or higher pilot, so it doesn't care who it is, so long as it's level 4 or higher, choose an enemy unit with 4 or less HP recurrent to its owner's hand. Nice. So yeah, you can kind of bounce a guy back to their opponent's hand. That's definitely not a bad thing to do, especially like 4 HP or less. That means they could be playing a level 5, possibly a level 6 guy out. You can drop it and then have to spend another turn playing it again. Space Earth, Earth Alliance, 4/4, and Kira Yamoto. Very cool. Alright, then for our other rare, legendary rare, we have another guy with a bunch of burst beams. The Aegis Gundam, GAT-X303. Level 4 the cost of 3, and it's a red colored. Attack. If this unit has 5 or more AP, choose one enemy unit that is level 5 or higher, deal 3 damage to it. Oh, that's neat. So, if you boost him up by at least 1, usually giving him a pilot will do that easily. Choose one enemy unit that is level 5 or higher and deal 3 damage to it every time he attacks. You can deal 3 damage. You can start taking out guys left and right. I'm just saying, there's other Gundams and the other starter decks and stuff too that like they can potentially grant extra boosts, either like just standard all the time extra boosts during the attack phase, or on your turn. That could help out. Or they have some that have the support ability, which means you rest them and it gives their AP to somebody else for the turn. So if you only have a pilot with them, you can at least boost them up that way. So that's pretty cool. I wish it kind of surprised it's not even a little bit higher. Like he doesn't start with 3 or something and make it a little bit harder to get to. Because almost any basic pilot, it's, it can be attached to him and do that. So Space Earth, Zaft, and Athamazala. Cool. So these are our 2 big ones. We're going to go back to the gray color for 4 copies of Strike Gundam. Level 4, cost of 2, GAT-X105, deploy, draw 1, then discard 1. Okay, it's not too bad. Doesn't get you free draws for cheap, but does let you at least cycle your cards around. Space, Earth, and 3/3, and Kira Yamamoto. So, basically a different version of the downgraded version of our main card is what it looks like. Ale Strike Gundam regular. Interesting. We have 4 copies of Mobius 0, TS MA2 Mod 00. So this looks like a bunch of little flying missile guns, as opposed to like an actual unit. Muda Flaga and Earth Alliance, a 2-4. So a little bit defender. That was Mobius 0, and then we have, to go with that, we have 3 copies of just Mobius. TS MA2. This is a level 1, 1, but it has blockers, so that's not a bad thing to have either. And then we have 3 copies of Strike Dagger. GAT-01. So very basic unit again. 2-2, but it has 3 attack and 2 health. Cool. Awesome. Alright, then what does Red have for us? We have 4 copies of Asagas Gundam MA mode. So GAT-X003. So this is just our other red one, but now this is instead an alternate form he can change into, as opposed to the other direction for the white one, or the gray one. New keyword, Breach 3. When this unit's attack destroys an enemy unit, deal that specified amount of damage to the first card in that opponent's shield area. So, what this means is if they have a base, you'll do 3 damage to their base. If they don't have a base, it's just going to hit the first card in their shield area. Now, the only thing I'm questioning is the way this is worded, because it doesn't say deal 3 damage to their base or destroy a shield. Because it could, obviously this is an easier way of just saying that. If they deal 3 damage to a shield, it doesn't matter if you deal 1 or 20 damage, shield to shield. But I also wonder if there's going to be some card or ability at some point that lets you deploy Gundams onto bases, or units onto bases, to empower them up even more. That's what I'm curious is going to happen at some point. But that's, yeah, cool. So it just destroys an enemy units. Yeah, use him to take out some weak guy, and then deal damage directly through him. It's essentially like Magic the Gathering, like Trample. Destroy one guy, go back to their health points. But instead of doing additional damage, you just go straight through and does extra. So that's pretty cool. We have 3 copies of it. Ging, ZGMF 1017. So level 2 with a cost of 1, just to get this guy out quick. He kind of looks like a bulky ninja guy. Interesting. And then we have our last unit. We have 3 copies of Miguel's Ging. So this one didn't have a pilot. No. This one does have a link. Miguel AMMing. So he gets a yellow version of that guy. That's cool. During pair, if he's destroyed, if you have another linked unit in play, draw a card. Okay, cool. So you're only getting a bonus if you linked him with someone else. Another character's been linked. And he's been destroyed, but that's why he has high attack with low defense. Cool. So yeah, some interesting stuff in here. Alright, then we have some pilots. So we have 4 copies of Kira Yamamoto to go with our base character, who has burst. So if Kira's in your shield area, just destroy you, add this card to your hand. Earth Alliance Coordinator attack. She's one enemy unit that's -2 AP during this battle. So it's always fun to look at is comparing them with their base ones. So these are the strike Gundams. So it's level 5 and level 4. So you definitely be able to play both at the same time. Turn 5, you can pay the 4 for this Gundam. Then you can pilot it. And then since it's linked together, they have the linked effect there. You can go ahead and attack right away at that. But yeah, up to 6 and 5. So definitely not bad. And then since she's a level 4 or higher, one enemy unit with 4 or less return it to its owner's hand. So that's always nice. So yeah, you can bounce one of their guys back, and you can attack right off the bat. And when you attack, she's one enemy unit that's -2 AP. So you can also drop one of their other units' AP, so if they have another blocker, it's going to be harder to kill them. Or you can attack one of the rested cards and not take as much damage. So yeah, definitely a cool combination. Does she link well with the other one? does make that one a 5-4, which is not bad at all. Again, the same thing with her ability. But then her ability as a pilot can work whether she's linked or not. So you can actually add that to anybody else. Did we not have... another guy here that reduces someone's AP? No. Okay, but we do have other ones that can do that. So you can always, again, if you imagine adding this one to another person that when you attack, that also reduce someone else's AP, you can actually drop lots of their AP down to 0, potentially. So that's pretty cool. We have 4 copies of Arthur Zala, who has burst as well. Level 4, cost of 1. Adds +1 attack, 2 health. When linked, during this turn, this unit may choose an active enemy as level 5 or lower as its attack target. So cool. So while this is linked, so it has to be with one of his pilots. It can't just be on anybody. He can then now attack any unit that's level 5 or not, whether they've drop down or not. So yeah, if we link them up with this, again, we have wait to level 4. You have 4 resources. You can play both. Play your Asagas Gundam, then drop him. Now he becomes a 5/5. Definitely powerful. If this unit has more than 5 AP, which it does now, choose an enemy unit level 5 or higher, do 3 damage to it, so you can possibly destroy one of them. Or, if it doesn't, you can now turn around and definitely just straight up and attack anyone and destroy it. So yeah, this could definitely be very helpful for destroying some very powerful late units. And then his other one was, if he linked with this one, gives him a 4/6 and lots of defense, is definitely helpful. But now again, lets him attack any guy that's level 5 or lower, because he's linked, and then if he destroys that unit, you can go ahead and deal 3 damage to the thing. So yeah, that's actually a really powerful combo with him, because then when he's linked with one of his 2 units, he can just destroy whoever he needs to destroy. So that's pretty fun. Then we have some command cards. So we have 3 copies of Striker Pack. Interesting. 4 costs, or 4 level 4, 2 cost. So if it's destroyed, well, it's a shield. It has burst. If you have no Earth Alliance unit tokens in play, destroy 1 Allied Gundam Strike Earth Alliance 3 HP, 3 AP blocker unit token. Okay, cool. So tokens are yellow cards. So if you just play this from your shield zone, and you have nothing else available. You have no Earth Alliance units. You could have other ones, but if you have no Earth Alliance ones, you just summon one of these guys. So that's pretty fun. That's pretty nice. We do get 2 copies of that, so if you end up needing to do it more than once. Otherwise, if you're main, and you play, so if you have no Earth Alliance tokens in play, it says you have no Earth Alliance unit tokens. So not just a unit, but you don't have any tokens in play, you can do it. So cool. So even if you have the regular guys, you can. If you have no tokens, deploy 1 Sword Strike Gundam Earth Alliance 4 AP, 2 HP blocker, or 1 Launch Striker Gundam with 2 HP, 2 AP, 4 HP. So basically you have 2 blockers, but 1 with high attack, 1 with high health. So that's kind of fun. Or if you're have the burst one, you can do the one that's kind of in the middle. So that's kind of neat. So we have the launcher one. We have 2 copies of that. And then we have the Sword Strike. So that's kind of neat. So it's the Strike Gundam, but either you can jump into a sword, which gives him more attack. You can jump into his launcher form, which gives him more defense, essentially, because he's ranged, I'm guessing. Or you could have gotten the Ale version, which is right in the middle. So that's kind of a fun way to play that character. It's a neat way of doing that as well. Alright, our other command card is Hawk of Ediman. It says main in action. Choose an enemy unit with 3 or less HP. Return it to its owner's hand. Ooh, that's cool, because you only have to It's not a printed one, it's just whatever they have left. So after you do more damage to them, you can return a higher level character, allowing you to sacrifice more points. And then this one has this, or you can play him as a pilot, gets you +1. Now again, he does link to a unit in here. He can link into the Mobius 0, but he doesn't gain any, other than be able to attack right away on the turn you play it. He doesn't gain any extra bonuses for doing that. And since he's only level 2, he doesn't trigger that other guy's level 5. We have 2 copies of the Magic Bullet of Dusk. So this is Miguel Aemon. He has his special unit. Action main. Choose one friendly unit with level 2 or lower. It may gain first strike during this turn. Once the unit is attacking, it deals damage before the enemy unit. First strike is pretty cool in this game. So that means if I'm attacking, so if I have a 3/3/3 attack 3 health, and I'm attacking another 3/3, I do my 3 damage to them first. It defeats them before they do 3 damage back to me. So it's definitely a great way to keep your guys alive. So that's really neat. I just want to see what his mech looks like. He does have, during paired, it doesn't have to be linked, but if he's paired, and he's destroyed, if you have another linked unit, you get to draw a card. So it kind of just helps you maybe stay alive a little bit longer, but it doesn't have to be that. Alright, so those are the last of our command cards and pilots, and we have some bases. So we have 3 copies of the Archangel, which is an Alliance warship, has 5 health, so it costs 1 to play. Burst, so like all the bases are when they're destroyed in the shield zone, they have burst. You can play them, but it costs you a shield to do. So you can only play up to 6 bases total, and then you run out of shields unless you have some way of refreshing your shields. Active main once per turn. Pay 2. Choose one friendly unit with blocker. Set it as active. It can't attack during this turn. Oh, that's cool. So a lot of the strike Gundams all have blockers. So this basically what you do is during your turn you can attack with them, and then you can pay 2 to put them back into ready mode, so then on your opponent's turn you can use them as the blocker. So that's a really neat way of letting you use both of them. So that's pretty cool, and it doesn't matter who it is that has blocker. That's neat. And then we have 3 copies of Vestula, which also has burst and deploy. Active main. Rest this base, choose one friendly unit. It gets +1 AP during this turn. So cool. Just a way to, like, instead boost up one of your guys. Plus we have our one Asagas Gundam, who just needs that 1 extra AP. So if you have this base out, you could, on turn 3, you could always just rest this to give him that if you didn't have a pilot yet. So that's pretty cool as well. Very, very cool. So that's very fun. So we have red is kind of going with trying to just boost up your attack a little bit more, get some extra damage going. And the gray color, which is kind of being more of a defensive character with blockers and trying to keep you alive. So very fun. Then the last thing we have left to go through is our bonus pack, which has 16 cards. So any one of the cards, it could be one of our legendaries, could be one of our bases, could be a command card. Any one of them could be an alternate foil. We'll see what we get. Alright, so we got Kira. Has a foil version. So just foils the back of her card. Find Kira's card there. So it does have the little star up, or the plus on the comment up there to show that it's that. But yep, it just spoiled everything around her. So yeah, nothing terribly crazy. I am on the fence of this because there's 16, so if you're some ultimate collector and you have to have every single card, this is going to be a pain in the ass to have. You can find other people that might be willing to give away their promo card. They might not care that much. But yeah, otherwise it's going to be kind of a pain to collect. But I'm glad it's not like a 1 of 3 promo card that's only exclusive to this deck, because games have done that before too, and that really sucks. Alright, so that's what we got for starter set number 4. Siege Strikes are really cool mechanics and cards in there. Be really fun to see how they interact with the other decks, as well as what the booster cards bring to add or subtract from them. Check out the other 3 starter decks. See you guys later. Bye.